but everyone's excited, just like you, Chris, and I, that DeJounte Murray's healthy and back on the floor. And, boy, it's going to be fun to watch.
So when we look at the Spurs, they continued their run last year, making the playoffs 22 consecutive seasons. But we also look at the Rockets, and we know how good they've been since James Harden has been there. Look, 2014 was the first time he made an All-NBA team. And we've been asking the same question. Is this the year that they make it to the NBA Finals? So, again, in October, we're asking, in June, are they going to be playing in the Finals?
The Rockets.
The Rockets.
Right now, today, I'm going to say no. I like Russell Westbrook. Obviously, Capella, all those guys coming back. But we're talking about the Western Conference being as deep as it is. The Denver Nuggets, they brought back every piece. You had Jeremy Grant, and you bring back Michael Porter Jr. Then, of course, all the talk about the Lakers and the Clippers. Spurs are going to be fighting people. I mean, the West is just so deep that I can't say today that it's a guarantee that the Rockets will be maybe in the Western Conference Finals, too. Let alone the finals. There's just so much talent out there right now today in the preseason. I don't see it. I need to see more of this chemistry we're talking about with Russ, and James in the backcourt. And also, you got to keep Eric Gordon happy too. So we talk about those two guys. How do those two guys use their leadership to make sure the rest of the team is happy as well?
Well, you mentioned year in and year out just being there. That's something the Rockets have been.
Yeah.
But not as long as the San Antonio Spurs, 22 straight seasons, making it to the playoffs. They did it last year despite not having DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker, the guard they drafted, only playing in 17 games. Do you see them as a team that's going to be able to extend that streak to 23 consecutive seasons in the playoffs, considering how stacked the Western Conference is?
Even though the Western Conference stacked to this question, making the playoffs, yes, I'm putting a check right there by the Spurs because everything you just said. They missed Murray last year, and they still made the playoffs, and obviously got knocked out early by Denver. So now you bring in someone of his caliber, his athletic ability. And you talk about Lonnie Walker, had a heck of a summer league. You bring back his fresh legs, and, of course, you have Double D and LaMarcus Aldridge. They're going to get it done.
More Western Conference teams that we're seeing in the preseason, all consecutively playoff-bound. The Portland Trail Blazers and the Utah Jazz. A lot of guard talent in this one. Damian Lillard, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Safe to say he's in midseason form. Blazers ahead by 9 late in the first, but Mike Conley looks comfortable in his new place.
Yeah, very comfortable. Just knowing how to get to his sweet spot on the floor and finish it.
How about finishing Jeff Green?
Jeff Green, don't be so mean.
Baseline
finger roll, finish off the glass.
Still in the second quarter, another guy finish around the basket and outside, Donovan Mitchell. Nice to see him get an easy bucket set up by a teammate.
Yeah, we know he can do that all day long, get to the basket, beat his man, get to the rim. But to your point, Chris, a lot of easy shots, catch and shoot.
So we know that the Portland Trail Blazers lost Yusuf Nurkic to injury.
Oh, no.
There's Hassan Whiteside, left the game with a sprained left ankle, did not return. So at least that's the diagnosis. Could have been worse for them, their situation with bigs.
Yes, hope it's not too serious to your point, Chris.
C.J. McCollum, 28 points, 5 for 7 for 3.
DJ Smooth.
That's what he does. He and Dame Lillard combined for 53.
Until Clay gets healthy, you got to get the best backcourt in the game to them guys today.
You say that best backcourt in the game, the Utah Jazz, those two, going to give them a little run for their money as well.
Along with Houston. They're going to talk about that with Russ. Come on now. That's what makes it so much fun when Mike Conley goes to Utah. Now, these guys are trying to figure out what they're trying to be. So once again, this Western Conference with backcourt guards is going to be exciting every night.
You know, we have a great producer tonight because we have a theme in this block.
Okay, tell me about
Consistency in the Western Conference. The Blazers have been the 3rd seed in the West each of the last 2 years. Last year, just behind the Nuggets and the Warriors. Do you believe there'll be a 3rd seed or higher for a 3rd consecutive year?
No, I don't see them being higher because, I mean, that means they're going to beat the Lakers or the Clippers and Houston,
so
Denver.
3 for a 3rd straight year.
No, I think this might be the year they come down maybe 4 or 5 because, once again, the theme, let's stay with our theme, the West is super deep. And with all the new players they brought in, how long does it take for Dame and CJ to make sure these guys feel like they're a part of the system? Now, to your point earlier, Dame and CJ cannot have off nights now because they don't have all those guys, especially until Nurkic gets healthy, which you probably won't see all year long with the broken leg. So it remains to see how those new guys fit into the system, but there's no question what that backcourt does.
How about this one for a nugget for you? Similarly, the Jazz finished 5th in the West in each of the last 3 years. Yeah, they added, though, Mike Conley, Bojan Bogdanovic to the fold. Is this the year that they actually take a jump? You said Portland you think might fall. Could Utah be one of those teams to jump ahead of them?
What's so funny is with Utah's new guys, you feel a little bit better because we know Mike Conley can get it done. We know Bogdanovic can make shots. The question is, does Spider-Man continue to make his elevation to being a great player? Rudy Gobert, can you continue to be the defensive juggernaut we've seen the last couple of years? If that happens, I say yes.
Certainly some movement in the Western Conference teams that we're seeing consistently make it to the playoffs. Who's going to separate from the fray? Ice Trey. Ice water in his veins in New York City. Then it gets the win 100-96. So the Hawks and the Knicks, two teams that have missed the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. The Knicks actually missed the playoffs 6 years in a row now. Do the Hawks seem more poised to break that drought of playoffs than the Knicks right now?
Right now, today, I would say yes. I would say the Hawks are poised. The way they've put this young team together, the draft picks. The question is, how long does it take Hunter, those young guys to come in and really get the NBA game and find out where their niche is? Now, when you look at the Knicks, you like all the pieces, but I'm like, how is Fizdale going to get all these pieces to make sense? Because when you look at the individuals, you like it. But when you say when they come together, you're not crazy about it. Where the Hawks, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see Vince Carter, the veteran. You see other guys coming off the bench. And you see they're going this direction. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Knicks fare as the season goes on.
It's how all the pieces fit together. You like what the Hawks are doing. That's what I
like what the Hawks are doing, yes.
All right, Detroit and Charlotte, no Blake Griffin, no Derrick Rose, no Terry Rozier. So we got to see some of the young fellas. How about P.J. Washington with the hustle?
Oh, with the hop. Great pass.
And Langston Galloway getting the ball back. Joe Johnson with the dime there, though.
Hey, ISO Joe still getting it done, baby.
We're used to him finishing at the end of games, but how about that pass? And then on the break, it's Miles Bridges. I think we have a slam dunk contest.
Well, we have a turnover contest and then transition, get out and run contest.
Woo! There's P.J. Washington on the finish. Then on the break, Andre Drummond, he's been doing that for years. Game tied at 49. We move to the second half. Malik Monk. It's going to take some time for him to fully develop, but I think getting some action in the preseason.
This year 3, this should be the year where he makes some noise.
Markieff Morris left open. We know the scouting report on him, what happens. Andre Drummond inside. We know how efficient he is in there. Tim Frazier, though, with the ball in his hands, shutting this one down. Mid-range jumper from him.
Tim Frazier, one of the savvy backups in our league for many years.
Detroit gets the win 116-110. Malik Monk, the eyes were keeping on him there. 18 points, 6 for 10 from the field. Going to get some opportunities this season, so we got to make sure to watch and see how he develops. Memphis, OKC. Speaking of opportunities, we're going to see a lot of Ja Morant, but starting this game strong with the veteran Steven Adams.
Ooh, big fella, good feet work on the baseline.
Strong start also from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Had a great rookie season with the Clippers. Came over in the trade.
Man. Hey,
great get.
Huge fan, under control. Just so crafty around the basket. Can finish with either hand. Great passer. And been working on his jump shot.
10 points in the first quarter for him. Jaren Jackson
Jaren,
Jr.
stop it.
18 points, 10 rebounds. Just so smooth.
At 7 foot, stopping popping threes. Come on.
Danilo Gallinari.
From deep. That's what he does.
That's a 14-0 run by OKC. We move now to the third quarter. Dylan Brooks time. Nails it from outside.
They helped the young fella. He was banged up a little bit last year.
Then Dylan Brooks again.
Yeah, I like Brooks. I loved it when he come out of Baylor.
It's Tyus Jones with the nice dime there behind the back. Can't overlook that. Then Jaren Jackson, corner 3. It's if you take a second and you're late, he's going to make you pay for it.
Splash. At that size, knocking him down.
Memphis gets the win 124-119. Dylan Brooks, 30 points in the game. Jaren Jackson, 18 and 10. Speaking of big performances, how about the big fella for the Sacramento Kings, Marvin Bagley Jr.? A performance to note. That's up next on Game Time.